to the Los Olivos Wine Merchant and Cafe, where you not only get to taste California's Central Coast wines, but you also get to meet the winemakers. Today I have the privilege of interviewing Erik Mallea with Mallea Wines. I'm having a little bit of a hard time making sure that I'm pronouncing that right. Can you pronounce it for everybody?
It's okay. It's pronounced Mallea.
Mallea. So I have to say it right after you say it. Mallea. It's beautiful. And I completely botch it up every time I say it. Mallea. Nope, see, I just botched it up again. Say it again.
That was great.
You're very nice. So, Erik, I can pronounce that pretty well. If you can sum yourself up in one word, the aspect or part of your personality that gets infused into your wines, what would that be?
I would have to say observant.
Okay. And why?
I would say because this making these wines for me is an adventure. Mm-hmm. We are excited about learning from the different sites that we work with. There's, I think, a couple of different approaches to making wine. One would be you have a style of wine in mind of what you're going to create, and basically then you're going to mold the raw product into that wine as best you can. Or you can approach it a little bit differently, where what does this site and what does this fruit provide me? Is it going to make kind of a medium-bodied, lighter food wine, or is it going to be a richer style? And we found with every single site there's an identity.
Your path to becoming a winemaker began when you were very young. You shared with me earlier. If you could just share with everybody where you started back in Minnesota and what you started fermenting at an early age.
So my family has always been involved in agriculture in some form, and my father, being from the Basque Country, he's one of those guys who, if there's apples falling from a tree in the neighborhood and nobody's picking them up, he's going to pick them up and he's going to turn them into something. And so a little bit of that was instilled in me. And we always grew all of our own food, grew our own animals for meat. And this is in a very remote area in northern Minnesota. And along with that, once we kind of reached adolescence, I was always interested to find ways that we could maybe make some alcohol. So we had bees. So
the real motivation comes out. Okay. So.
Yeah, that's but I guess my family was always very supportive of it because it was kind of a learning process. We always collected wild fruits like choke cherries. That makes actually a quite nice.
Very cool.
Quite a nice wine.
Yeah, you can't do that in Southern California.
No. We even fermented oats one time and kind of made not an oat beer. It was more like an oat wine, so like a sake style.
And do you guys drink it all? Did your family enjoy that?
No. I don't think many people enjoyed that, but we did learn from it.
Did you give it to the cows when you were done? Or?
I don't recall, but I remember it sitting in the cellar for a long time, and then finally it was like, get rid of that,
So then your path to becoming a winemaker, it sounds like, was pretty clear. That you went from Minnesota fermenting oats, and then what brought you to California? You decided it's grapes I want to.
Yeah, always a love of growing things and making something from it. So be that with growing vegetables commercially and loving to cook, but then also it just seemed like a kind of a natural progression to want to really pursue this, which winemaking is such an interesting tradition. It has, and I feel really kind of honored to be part of the history.
And did you grow up with wine in the house?
Absolutely, yeah. My mother, not too much into wine, but my father is Basque, and so wine's kind of just a staple item on the table of every meal. So, but yeah, it's such an interesting tradition that goes way back, and it really does have its roots not in fancy, billion-dollar facilities, but really of farming and producing something that is a common staple.
When you stopped by the Los Olivos Wine Merchant and Cafe in January, you'll be able to experience a tasting flight of all 3 of these featured Mallea wines. And they'll also be at 20% off during the month of January. So whether you're shopping online, if you're in Minnesota and you'd like to try some, we'd be happy to ship them to you at 20% off, but only during January. Or if you come in the restaurant and you want to take some home, you'll be able to enjoy them at 20% off. They'll also be by the glass. And if you would like to meet Erik in person, you can make a dinner reservation on January 27th. Erik will be here and he'll be pouring his wines and mingling with guests. Erik, thank you very much. It was a pleasure interviewing you and getting to know more about your wines.
Thank you for the
Cheers.
opportunity.
Stay tuned for part 2.